Hello there, my
Hi.
dear. My name is Courtney Bailey, which you know. I'm
Yes.
the Chief Development Officer for MPTF and the Motion Picture and Television Fund. And before, Josh, we get into this very fun, very special conversation, can I tell you a little bit about MPTF?
Oh, please do.
All right. So, MPTF is an organization that's been around for 103 years. It was started by Hollywood luminaries like Mary Pickford when they really saw the need to take care of each other, which is a beautiful statement, and it's still our mission today. So, what MPTF does is we provide a wealth of financial, social, health services, and navigating insurance, all these really difficult things that when you are in time of crisis or need, your family in the entertainment industry wraps their arms around you. And we have a technically it's a retirement campus, although we don't say that because these people are not all retired, but they are industry veterans who have worked at least 20 years in the industry. They live on this gorgeous MPTF Wasserman campus named after Lou and Edie Wasserman, who were instrumental in the growth of MPTF, purchased by Gene Hirschholt, and where we have about 250 residents. And before we get into the conversation, we've all been through from pandemic to work stoppages and job contractions, and then the devastating Southern California wildfires. So it's really been one uphill battle after another, especially for our entertainment community. And MPTF has been there each time. And right now we are helping people impacted by the fires with financial assistance, helping them to get through insurance and FEMA, all these very difficult things. And shout out to our social workers because it is March, Social Worker Month, and they are absolutely essential heroes. So,
Amazing.
all that said, we are here to talk about something really special, the Queen's Jewels. We're going to get into a whole bunch of things, but I'm sure you've answered this a million times. Tell me about what's the origin story? How did this idea come about?
Okay, so I'm gonna take like a weird angle with this. Have you seen the meme of like the anglerfish that like swam to the top of the ocean and like found the sun?
Yes.
And it was like really sad and amazing. So that fish, I actually think that this story in general, like that meme is amazing. But I met this guy on the beach and he was essentially like my dangly little light. And I was just following that light. I was like, everything he was telling me, I was like, you know, the fish with the big old teeth. I was just eating everything up. And I was just following his lead. He was metal detecting. He was telling me all about the treasure. He was sharing with me his experience, living on the Treasure Coast, which is where I'm from. And I ate it up and I loved it. I was truly inspired by what he had to show me. I mean, treasure is so sparkly. Like, why would I not want to make something?
Were you a little kid that was like, obviously treasure is a big deal. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
that sparked the little kid in you, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, especially because it was coming right outside of COVID. So we were all longing for adventure. So when I saw somebody that was doing something and had this incredible story about what they look for and find on the beach and was giving me the historical background about our town, I was just like a big old geek, like going to all of the pawn shops, the museums, like looking everything up, like trying to talk to as many people as I could. And so I made a fictional story about a non-fictional historical event about my hometown, which is very exciting.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about the location because this film visually is stunning.
Thank you.
And I know there's some stories with like the location scouting. And I have to say, our first industry premiere of your featured directorial debut is going to be where?
At MPTF?
At MPTF. We're
can't
so
wait.
excited.
I thank you so much for having us too. Like, you and Bob are just the best. And I know that outside of just me, you're dear friends with Linda. And I really appreciate everything you guys are doing for us. I'm so looking forward to sharing my directorial debut with you guys. But I'm also really excited to, be able to support what I've been supporting you for and how you give back and everything like that.
Well, this is lovely. It's a merging of two very beautiful worlds.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned Bob Beach, our CEO. We
Yes.
love him. Linda Duncombe, she's like a sister. We love her more than anything.
Totally.
And speaking of great characters, this cast is phenomenal.
Thank you.
I mean, you have such an incredible, I adore Natalie's role in this. But tell us about casting and kind of how that process went. I'm curious to know if the cast you selected, did they look like what you think? Did it morph into that because someone was just that good in their audition? So tell me about that.
So this is a fun question.
Yeah.
It could be a little long, so I'll pick like a couple of them. But the cast was incredible. I'll start with Carson. So Carson's the lead. He plays the actor, or he plays Bo, the character. And he was the most challenging to cast, not because I didn't find him incredibly talented, but because I was so picky. Like I was like,
this was a special role.
You know, and I think that when he came onto my radar, it was actually through our incredible casting director, Harriet Greenspan. And she kept on saying, Josh, like, look at him. And I'd be like, yeah, I will. Like, I just haven't yet. Like, I'm doing my own thing, you know, like, and not like in any bad way. And then when I did, I was like, Harry, you could have tried like a little hard. He's amazing.
She's like, I told you.
Yeah, she
literally
was like, Josh, like, I've been trying to tell you. I was like, no, he's so good. What's really cool about Carson is that he's also from Florida. So when we first met in person, we actually met at a place called Frigates in Melbourne Beach, Florida. So we had like a really awesome connection. And yeah, I mean, like what I also loved about being able to cast Carson, because, you know, he's been on Sweet Magnolias, Pretty Little Liars. He's done a bunch of stuff. This is also his first time acting in a feature film, and this is my first time directing one. So we got to share that experience together, which I found to be important. So that's Carson. Michael Bailing. I'll talk about him really quick.
We love Michael.
Oh, we love him so much.
Yeah.
He's a great person. Hugely incredible actor, and he's got a great sense of humor, which you'll see in the movie. So actually, before I started working with the production company that made this film, I was with somebody else, and I had a pitch deck. Like, here's my ideas for the actors, and it was always Michael Bailing in my mind to play the actor, or to play the role of Orion. And those producers told me, like, don't even try. Like you're never gonna get Michael Bailing. He's never gonna want to do it. The film is too small.
Did you know Michael beforehand?
Never met him, anything. And I was like, no, but you don't understand. Like, when I wrote this, I actually had him in mind when I was writing it, because I'd seen him on All American, which I'm a big fan of.
Of course, yeah. Great show.
And I was like, and I knew he could do it. And this role is so different than what he plays on All American. And I was like, this would just be, I just knew he could. And those producers were told, like, Josh, don't even try. I'm like, so we're not even going to try? They were like, no. So as you can see, we're working with a different company. And I got to meet Michael Bailing.
That's a terrible answer.
I know, it was so mean.
Don't say no, just like, try.
The fact that they didn't try was a little disheartening.
Yeah, that's a good red flag to have early on.
Totally.
You moved on.
But you know, we got the new company. I told him I wanted Michael Bailing, and I spoke to Harriet again, like, shout out to her, because she's just the best. And she was like, I love Michael. I think he'd be great. So we reached out. He read the script. He liked it. And we had lunch, and he and I had like a great chat. And he was like, yeah, a 2-month vacation in the Dominican Republic sounds awesome. And I was like, yeah, this is
And
great.
Did you tell him that you had envisioned him in this role the whole time? I mean, that's got to feel good.
I mean, you know what? I think he might have been a little flattered, but I was like, dude, I've been chasing you for like 3 years. Like, this is wild. Like, in my mind, like, I literally wrote this for you, and now we're having this conversation. And he smiled, and he was really kind and really gracious about it. What that meant to him, I don't know, but that is the truth.
Yeah. He was just playing it cool, I'm sure.
I'm sure he was playing it cool.
But that's got to touch your heart.
But
that's
oh my gosh,
special.
I mean, like, it was really great.
So, and really quick, sorry to interrupt you, because
Yeah.
we have so much to talk about, but you have this incredible trailer.
Thank
and
you.
I think we're going to show people now. Is that right?
Awesome. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's show people.
Enjoy the trailer.
In the early hours of the morning, on July 31st, 1715, an elite Spanish fleet filled with invaluable treasures attempted to outrun a hurricane, chasing them through the Florida Straits. The fleet was overtaken by the deadly Cat 4 hurricane. It was trapped in the channel where the storm unmercifully pounded the treasure-laden convoy to pieces. 11 of the 12 vessels in the fleet were swallowed up in the hurricane's wrath. And if you're wondering what any of this has to do with our story, the answer is a short one. Everything.
Where are you?
I mean, I'm kind of tearing up because I've seen this trailer before, but every time I see it, Josh, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Truly, like my heart is kind of thumping.
Thank you. I love that you love it. And I know that you've actually seen the rough cut. So for you to still feel that way is really important to me. We're going to be so proud to share this with you. And, I think, we're in this together. So I love that you love it.
And I love that you say that because you are I don't always love the term servant leader, but it is a thing. And you're that kind of director.
Thank you.
You are the kind that really lifts up your entire team, and you're not as comfortable talking about yourself, but that's okay because that's how talented you are.
What I love about what you just said, though, is like it's so important because I feel like, especially as a director, you're only like, my idea is just my idea, but really, in my opinion, being a really good director is being able to collaborate and listen to the people that are working with you to achieve the same goal. Yeah. So when we are all in this and we're all sweating our asses off and we're all spending these, like hours and hours just trying to get the shot, like I would be really silly to not listen to somebody when they have a creative idea or when they're like, hey, I feel like my character might do this, or I feel like the shot might look a little bit like this. Like that to me would be a mistake on my end if I wasn't listening to the team. So no matter what, at the end of the day, we all did this together. It was so much work but also so much fun. And I'm like really proud of what I get to share with you guys.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm sure that makes it a great experience for cast and crew to have somebody like you who's actually listening. That's really special.
Thank you.
And I know your crew was fantastic. So I want to talk a little bit. You mentioned, like Michael was saying, Dominican Republic. You kind of had your own little Indiana Jones movie version and journey adventure, because tell us a little bit about like how you got to these locations and the scouting trips.
Totally. So the film was filmed mostly in the Dominican Republic, but a couple of days in Florida. Florida was quick, like in terms of locations and scouting, because I had actually made a short film for this feature film, knowing I was going to make the feature film.
Right.
And I used a lot of the same locations. So I had relationships with like the bar and the pier. And so that one was really easy. I knew the angles. I knew it was all exciting. The Dominican Republic is a little bit of an adventure for sure, because
I mean, you were in some jungle.
Oh my gosh.
Like off-road.
Wild. Like there was like this one cave that it was like one cave, but it was actually like 7 caves and combined in one place. And you had to walk down like 300 steps just to like get to the spot. So everybody either loves me or hates me for that one. But everyone was like, oh my God, this is going to be beautiful.
Leave your claustrophobia aside.
Yeah. Like seriously, they were all like, wow, this is beautiful. This is amazing. And in truth, I was a little nervous, like, oh my gosh, like we're going to have to get all this crew down here. We're going to have to get all the equipment. But when everybody saw it and they saw the shots, they were like, Josh, this is so nuts. It's going to look amazing. And it very much does. So that was really exciting.
I have to tell you, when you're watching the film and knowing that I've known about this from day one of your process, and to watch it all come to life. And I mean this completely respectfully. It is visually, I told you this, like this is a feature, big, incredible, beautiful film.
Thank you
so much. This does not look like, oh, this is the first. I mean, you're there.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
I love that. I mean, I kind of want to talk about it, but like I also want the world to decide for themselves.
Right.
You know?
Right. They'll love it.
I think that, like, yes, this is my first feature film, but this is not my first movie. Like I've been on so many, like working in, different departments, and I have made short films that I've written and directed, and I've won so many awards, which is great. But I always have a style. I always want to, I will watch movies sometimes and be like,
take notes.
Like, you guys had that budget and this is what you decided to do.
Right.
So in this situation, it was like, you have this budget, which, to some regard isn't like so much money, but I was resourceful and I wanted to make the best of it. And I felt like it was all about making the right decisions to make this feel bigger than what it was. And I do think that we achieved that.
I agree. And tell me real quick, we're going to go off a little here. You told me, because you wanted to be a writer.
Yes.
But the transition from being a writer to knowing about, oh, maybe I want to direct. When did that feel? When did you know you wanted to do that?
So I didn't know really what directing was when I got to Los Angeles, like, 8 years ago.
I swear the best careers happen when you're like, wait, what is this?
Yeah, like,
what?
I
could do this.
No, like, it's crazy. Like, so I went to school for writing. I have a degree in English and creative writing. And when I got to Los Angeles and started learning the craft of like filmmaking, I always knew it was going to be screenplays. Like that's for sure.
Okay.
But I didn't even study that in college. I was like, I'll figure it out. But I got here and I started to learn what directing was, and I was like, wait, so like you're telling me that as a director, the things that I see in my mind when I'm writing something are the things that I'm in control of when I'm creating the movie? Like the way, even like, you know, the style or, you know, visual effect of the shot, like how we're going to show the world, like visually, like, there's so many different elements that come into play that I started to be like, I could take basically writing to the next level. And this is
exactly
amazing.
that next step is everything in
Yeah.
your mind. Now you get to create it.
It's wild. So I
Beyond
have
the
these
page,
moments like when I'm on set and I'm like, I can't, like, I did that, like just by like thinking about it, you know what I mean? Like, and I talked to people and we figured it out and together and, you know, we collaborated and created something that like was a conception of just a thought. And like, that to me is just like nuts to like think that, you know, these decisions were, you know, at some point either in my mind or, you know, from somebody that I love and trust that gave me something that we could do together.
It's incredible. I can't imagine what you felt when you first saw a close to finished product.
Yeah.
I mean, was that just overwhelming?
Yeah. So funny you say that. Like so like right now, so our premiere or industry screening, I should say, because it's not a premiere, is
Right.
April 8th.
Right.
So when you're actually making a film, they have like the director's cut, which is like, I've approved all of the images, right?
Right.
But then there's like 7 different departments, like, and I'm exaggerating. There's like color, there's visual effects, there's sound, there's the, you know, music composition.
Yeah.
So, but they're all working off of that director's cut. So when they're giving me like, hey, here's where we're at, like, and I give them feedback, it's more like, they will be like, so I get the same director's cut with the sound mix, the same director's cut with the color correction, but I'm never seeing it all together at once.
Right.
I'm only seeing it in their department.
Right.
So as of like 2 days ago, I've seen like the most I've seen of this film, which is crazy, is the sound mix, the music, the visuals, but without the color correction, and without all of the visual effects. So I actually haven't even seen,
Oh my gosh.
I know. Crazy.
I remember the placeholders
Yeah.
for the visual effects, and in my mind, I've seen them. It's going to be incredible.
Thank you. I'm so much looking forward to that. And they do take time. So that's why I'm like,
Sure.
look, you know, but yeah, I mean, I've seen bits and bobs, but the majority of like what I'm looking at, I'm like, wow, like when it's all there, like it is that surreal feeling of like, I remember being there. Like I remember talking to the actors like about this one particular scene, you know what I mean? And here we are, and now it looks amazing. It sounds amazing. It's really cool.
I'm so excited for audiences to see this film. And I will say it appeals to a very broad audience, which is really special. I don't know if that was a conscious decision. I mean, I have 7 and 10-year-old daughters who I brought to that rough cut, and they loved it. My 7-year-old's like, oh, there's a couple kind of scary parts, but it was just kind of anxiety.
Yeah.
But she's 7. They loved this film, and I
love
saw
that.
people of all ages there. Did you set out to have it be that broad, or did it just happen to be a film for everyone?
Yeah. First of all, shout out to Blake and Ryan. I love them.
Yay.
They're adorable. And
They're pretty cute.
yeah, they are.
Their
super
mom's cute.
So yeah, I feel like when I wrote the script, I knew it was going to be a family-friendly film. And I didn't realize how important that would be later on when we're in this position now where that seems to be something that people want.
It's family friendly, but still really interesting. It's not like
Action-packed
dumbed down for a child audience. It
Totally
just
not.
happens to be
Yeah.
accessible.
So yeah, it's not like a kid's film. It's more of like an action-packed film, but you know, no political beliefs, like no biases, I should say, no religious biases. It's like
It's very joyful.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, to answer your question a little bit more in depth, like I said, I started creating this project around COVID. So like that longing for adventure and like I really wanted to pay homage to my childhood where I was like, you know, coming home with like bloodied, muddy knees and, you know, chasing my neighbors around and, you know, being outside in the wild and the, you know, like the forest and stuff. But, you know, having been in Florida and realizing that, hey, like this is an incredible story that's true, and I, you know, had made it my own.
Yeah.
I wanted to share, like, you know, like I said, like pay homage to my childhood by creating this action-packed, fun adventure story that really anybody can watch. You could be like a mom, like with your kids, watching this. Myself, like, you know.
Well, and when we do the industry screening
Yes.
at MPTF, we are going to have retirees on our campus.
Yeah.
Our residents are amazing, and these are veterans. They're very tough. They're going to love this. You're going to have people probably well into their 90s down to Blake, maybe 7 years old, but it's going to be so special.
Yeah. Thank you. My grandpa, my
Tell
grandma
me.
might be there. Like, you know, my family
That's
might be coming.
your
I know.
family.
That's so exciting.
Oh my gosh, Josh, you're going to cry.
I'm so going to cry.
I'm going to cry. We're all going to cry. And we're doing a panel discussion beforehand with you and some of the cast. And
Yes, we will.
Linda Duncombe, who is now on her trajectory to being a superstar producer.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
don't
so
get in her way.
happy
Oh, me too.
her road has
Yeah.
taken this turn. It's really beautiful. Tell me, you probably have a million, a favorite memory or two from filming, from the process?
I mean, as a whole, I feel like there's not just like one specific memory that I'm like, or like because there's so many just memorable experiences.
Yeah.
I'm like, especially, you know, with Linda, my big sister, my partner in crime. She's by far like, I can't even imagine like what it would have been like without her.
Yeah.
Not that it, you know, she's just the best, and she really is, and she makes everything better for me. But as a whole, I feel like if I was to reflect on this whole experience, it's about like, I remember thinking so many times, like, I'm in a trailer with like 300 people, like plus, like here working on the film, that we're all trying to achieve this goal. They're all trying to, you know, create something with me. And I'm sitting in the trailer for my film being like, wow, I'm like, this is happening. Like, I've wanted this for 10 plus years. I've worked so hard to get here.
Yeah.
So like, it's a lot of like, you know, just like nods to myself. Like, I have to like take in the moment. Like, I know that there's like
Yes.
so many things happening on set, and you're working with actors. There's 1,000 things. You just kind of want to be like, wow, like I'm doing this. Like,
Take a breath, be
Yeah.
present. You've done this. You're
Yeah.
doing it. You're in it.
it's a fun, and kind of like, I don't know, like it takes, I don't know. It's just a really great experience to be like, wow, like I'm doing something that I set out to do, and it's happening. Like, how do you take that in, and how do you absorb that? And then,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah.
So I do want to ask you about, you know, what's next for Josh in your life, but you're going to hate this question because we're not even, look, now I'm part of it. We're not even
You
done
should
with
be.
the
You
with the
are.
Queen's Jewels yet, but I mean, I feel like it's ready for a sequel. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, we love Linda. I know that she.
What
had
are you
something to
talking
do with
about?
it.
Nobody told me to say that. Yeah.
We love her so much. But in the famous words of Justin Bieber, never say never. And we.
Oh my gosh. Anytime we can quote Justin, I feel like we're done. Mic
Yeah,
drop moment.
I mean, how could we not?
Our greatest poet of the century.
It's true.
Well, okay, so what is next for you? I mean, now you're like off and running. What's been happening outside of Queen's Jewels and being so focused?
Mm-hmm.
What's next? What is life looking like now?
It's very interesting.
I know you can't walk down the street, but
Yeah, and people are like, "Wow, take my picture."
Oh my
I'm
God,
like,
Josh.
Take a picture with me.
Yeah.
Ah. No, not yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
Keyword.
Well, most of the time, people don't even know who directors are. So like, unless I'm Christopher Nolan, like I get to live and like I get to be like, you know, low key, but also like on the scene at the same time. You know.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
But to answer your question, I feel like what's really exciting, it's starting to happen. Like, people are coming to us because they've seen like marketing material from the Queen's Jewels. They've maybe been to my website. They've maybe looked up Linda and her experience. And so they're coming to us and approaching us for the first time to say like, hey, like we're doing this. How can you guys be involved? Which is very exciting.
Yeah.
And then that's new territory for me, by the
Yeah.
way, because I'm very much like, I write the things, I like to direct the things that I write, and I've actually was a huge part of like the business and raising the money. So I've never needed somebody to be like, hey, here's our project. So like, what does that mean to me? I don't know. But I'm entertaining it. I'm totally open to it. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. I'm
Right.
very much into
Right.
it. But yeah, like that to me is exciting to explore. And
Do you have another project kind of like in the works that you do?
I do.
Already?
Yeah.
You're
But
so prolific.
I have one. Thank you. You guys got that right. Like, I'm working on something, but it's so different than the Queen's Jewels. So like, and I'm not going to tell you guys.
That's
but
okay. You don't have
yeah.
no tease us, but you have something. That's fantastic.
I do. I'm excited to like get to it. I mean, as a filmmaker, I don't know the journeys of other filmmakers or directors or writers or people who make their own movies, but for me, like, to get to work on something new, it's like a breath of like fresh air. Not that I don't love this project so much, but like
Right.
to be like, whoa, like, you know, like it's kind of fun to like explore like the creative side from a writing perspective and a storytelling perspective again. And but yeah, I'm working on
and distribution and getting this. We got to get this to a wide, big audience.
Well,
because people are gonna love
hopefully, yeah.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
And with MPTF, I want to bring up something. You have volunteered on our campus before, so this is such a beautiful full circle moment.
Totally.
To do this industry screening, to honor cast and crew at a place with such legacy about taking care of each other. But I remember you did the Instant Film Festival,
I sure did.
right, on campus.
Yeah, you can find it on your website probably.
You
still.
can. You can find it on our mptf.com and you go to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But I feel like next year at the Instant Film Festival, you might be too busy, but we got to have you back and you need to direct one of those films.
You know,
you're going to look at it with like,
oh my gosh,
different lens.
I love that you're saying that. I would love to come back. Meeting the residents was so much fun. They have so many great stories. Meeting other people, like-minded people who just want to be a part of this was really, really special. And I had the best time. Like, I still think our film should have won, but like, I'm not the judge. But
oh gosh, I think I was on the judging panel.
Yeah.
I totally voted for you though, obviously. Okay, so Josh, this went by so quickly. This has been such a pleasure to chat with you. So now I guess we'll just tell everyone at home. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please watch The Queen's Jewels. Watch the career of Josh Friedman and Linda Duncombe and everyone in their universe, because it is very special. And April 8th, industry screening,
correct,
at the MPTF Wasserman campus.
Yes.
What was the date again?
April 8th.
Oh, right. April 8th.
Tuesday,
Yay.
baby.
All right. It's going up on a Tuesday.
Yeah, and thank you for coming all the way out here to have a chat with me.
Absolutely.
And, you know, huge thanks again to Bob Beecher. I know he's a dear friend of Linda, and you and him work so closely together.
He's amazing. He's a mentor to all of us, and he's so very proud of you guys.
Thank you. And the support that we feel from you guys is like boundless. I think you guys are incredible people, and I'm so happy to be a supporter of MPTF.
So, Josh, before we close out here, just tell me, what does MPTF mean to you personally?
Well, MPTF has been there for me, and it will be there for you. And I'm so excited to be a part of something that is bigger than myself. And I feel like the entertainment industry needs a place like MPTF, and I couldn't be more grateful that this organization exists. And I'm just proud to be a part of it, and proud to know you and Bob, and it's a beautiful place.
Well, thank you. And everybody, this has been such a pleasure to chat with my buddy Josh Friedman, follow his career, his life. It's going to be big. The Queen's Jewels, April 8th, MPTF Wasserman campus, industry screening.
Let's do it. MPTF, April 8th. We hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much. And thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Yay.